everyone, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are setting the lights for Jackie, a dear friend who's ordered one of my Hoodoo oil lamps, okay? So on my Etsy page, I don't have any listings up for these. Hi Moss the Boss. But if you're interested in getting one, you just need to inquire, and I can set the lights or make a kit for you to set the lights for any intention that you need. When we use our Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, the real gift to this book starts in the back on page 276 with magical intentions, okay? Hi Ben, hi everybody, Lilacs, hi, good morning. I'm not going to do too much talking in this video. I really just want to show you what I've got going on. I'm packing up some Etsy orders and I want to show you, thank you Moss, I appreciate the support. I want to show you how to, set the lights for an intention in Hoodoo and how you do that with your oil lamp, okay? So what I'm doing is, because I think that it's important that we set our own lights for the intention, whether we're a witch or a spiritual worker or whatever, I'm preparing all of the herbs for love and attraction out of this book, and then Jackie has a red lamp that she's purchased from me to set the lights with. So that's exciting. Let me talk about what I've got on the table here, okay? And I'm just going to grab something really quick. Okay, thanks for waiting. So let me show you all the different things that we've got on the table here. And I don't know how I'm going to get close enough to show them all to you. Erica, hi. Hi, everybody. Okay, so let me try and get this right in front of me and point it down. Okay, well, I hope we can see everything here. If not, my apologies. Again, I'm showing you how to set the lights for any intention for your Hoodoo oil lamp. Now, my best advice to you when you read through this book, because there are so many for love. Maybe I should read you all the ones for love first before I talk more about this. So let's do that. Jackie's not here on the live, I don't think, but this is the lovely card that she has coming to her. I'm telling her that love is swimming her way, and I wrote a lovely note inside. And as soon as I get my cassette recorder set up, I'll be sending you guys audio messages that you can keep forever. And I think that that is really special. So once I get that going, we'll have that. In this book, on page 278, is where the love and attraction, how to attract love, starts. And it goes on almost one entire page. So first I'm going to read everything out of this book to you that you can use for love. Now there's different kinds of love. There's love to attract, there's herbs for love divination, there's herbs to break love spells, there's herbs to increase lust, there's herbs to decrease lust. So those are the majority of your love herbs, and you've got different categories, different sections. Hi Justin, welcome. We're setting the lights for Hoodoo oil lamps, and I'm showing you guys how I do that and what my process is. Whispering Cauldron, hi. Moon Tiger's Path, hi. Everybody, I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, so basically I'm going to read you the whole entire list for love, and you're welcome to, pause the video and get your Book of Shadows, rewatch it if you like. So, Adam and Eve, aloes wood, so the wood from your aloe plant, unless that's something else. Wood aloes? I've never heard of that. Apple, which we've got here in 2 different forms. I've got regular red apple, and as you can see, there's a star in the middle. That star can represent protection, can represent creation. And when we do a love working, I promise you this, you need to have protective herbs in there as well. Luckily, a lot of these herbs that are good for love also fall under protection. Now, when you add those to the oil lamp, you put your intent over it and you say, cinnamon, I need you to help me with love, and I need you to help me with protection. Okay, so how do you know which ones do both? Well, if you really want to take the time, go through this book and look up all the herbs that I send to you. And I recommend for anybody who buys herbal kits from me to own this book, because I do almost all of my, right, the Super Hands shirt. Yeah, I had to change my shirt. I realized that yesterday I had on that little gray tank top, and I hadn't yet put on brassiere. So there you are. Okay, but I wanted to turn on the camera and record for you guys what I was doing. I have this all laid out on a monk's cloth, which I received from a friend, and I never knew what to do with it, but now I know it's going to hold out my herbs and kind of give them an additional blessing before I pack them up for these lovely oil lamps. Okay, for setting the lights. So, back to the list. Adam and Eve. So, and then I have another kind of apple. I have this, it's called a golden opal. Okay, and you can see the star in the middle of that as well. And why do we have, golden? Why is that so cool? Well, the color gold, and if you want to apply some color magic too, the red on the apple will help, the color magic for the love. And then the golden opal apple, that gold color in there, is going to help connection with the God. We use the color gold for connecting with the God in his fiery aspect. Charlie, Hannah, hi, welcome. Laura, welcome. Thomas is here, yay. Okay, so that's why I've got the apple. Now, as I read through this list, and one comes up that I have here, I'll tell you. Okay, so we've got apricot, so you could use either dried apricot or the seed. Anytime we use the seed of something, it's going to also add an element of abundance, okay? And we're using lemon seeds because I didn't have any lemon peel at the moment, but the seeds are even better in my opinion. Aster, Avens, avocado, and I'm using the shell here that I've dried in my dehydrator, okay? These are also really great for fertility workings. I know a friend who just got pregnant. Congratulations, my dear girl, Holly. She did her announcement video yesterday. Okay, bachelor's buttons, lemon balm. I have lemon balm, but I could not find it. Balm of Gilead, barley, and I've got barley here. Now, you could either use barley, or you could grow it into a microgreen like my husband does and do barley grass, okay? Barley's got loads of magical qualities, and all of the things we read from here are in this book. You know, it talks about all their magical qualities and everything else. It's all alphabetical. It's absolutely my favorite book. Okay, so we done barley. We've got basil, and I brought some fresh basil that I just got out of my dehydrator. Oh, they're in the wrong order. So here's a little bundle of basil that we grew on our kitchen counter in one of those light-covered machines, like UV or whatever. Okay. I want to keep them in alphabetical order. It's not like it matters, but that's where the basil was supposed to go. Okay, so basil, beans, and I've got some red scarlet runner beans here. I've chosen 3. As far as the number of what I pick to put in there, I just let spirit choose. I put my hand in the jar and whatever comes out, comes out. But I do love 3 as a magical number, and I love 5 and 8 and 9. Those are the numbers if I'm choosing that, or writing a spell before I just ask spirit. Those are the numbers I usually choose. And then, okay, so Erica says, so all of these beauties just mixed up in the regular lamp of oil? Oh, we'll get there, hon. But yes, basically we're going, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But here's the thing. When you're choosing what you want to put in here, and I was going to bring this up at the end, but I think it's important we do it now. Instead of choosing ground ginger or ground turmeric, right, because it's a powder, and when you add that to oil, it will create a mud. Like this. In my death oil, it's just kind of turned into a mud. Like the graveyard dirt and the ash at the bottom. And I have to use that big deer jaw to stir it every time, and it still stays as a mud. So I avoid using ground herbs in the oil lamps. Unless it's just a tiny pinch, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want that to turn muddy in there. I don't use oats. I don't use things that are really soft and delicate, and if I do, I put it in a tiny, tiny amount. Okay, so I hope that that answers your question a little bit, Erica. Yeah, you don't want to miss anything. That's why I wanted to tell you that. Now, one that falls on this list that I didn't add because her oil lamp is red, and she wanted that red oil lamp right away, and I was happy to do it for her because she really needs this working. If the oil lamp was clear like this, if it was clear like this, where you could see through it, you could, and I avoid using food colorings because it's just not natural, and to me, I'm using like organic, natural ingredients. You could add food coloring, or beet falls under love. So you could add beetroot powder, which I use in my drinks. This is an awesome dye if you're trying to dye fabric or clothes. Beetroot powder will turn the whole entire oil bright red, okay? And this stuff is awesome. This is my favorite brand, and this is what I add to my green drink in the morning. And this is a way to become intoxicated with no ill effects. You can literally drink beet juice to get intoxicated. So that's why I feel like in the morning it gives us such a good energy rush, yeah? So yeah, intoxication with no ill effects also will be like a food coloring in your oil lamp. I think that's really awesome. But I didn't add it to this one because the oil lamp is already red, and also because the powder, you know, could be another thing that might muck that up. So here is a piece of fresh dried from my dehydrator turmeric. Smells amazing. And then here's the powder that would just turn into like a mud, as you can see there. Okay, I'm glad that you asked that question. I'm glad that I saw it. I'm not able to see all these questions because I'm tipped down and everything. So yeah, if I see them, I will answer them. And if I don't, retype them in big bold letters so that maybe I get them. All right, so let's talk about the rest on the list. We've got... Okay, so we talked about the red runner beans. These are excellent for love attraction. They're also excellent for exorcism. I use beans a lot in exorcism workings. And we're not talking about The Exorcist. We're talking about exorcism of something in your life that you need to get rid of, that you need out, away from your spirit, out of your body. Not as literal as The Exorcist, yeah? So, also bed straw, fragrant. Beet, which we talked about, beetroot. Yep. Arrow, betony. Sometimes it's called wood betony. Bleeding heart, bloodroot, Brazil nut, caper. You can take your capers out of the jar and re-dehydrate them if you want. Even though they're pickled, you could do that. I've done it. Cardamom. I love cardamom pods. Oh my goodness. I love cardamom pods. They smell amazing, and they are one of my favorite things to use for abundance workings. And I want abundance in this working. I want this love that comes to her to be ultimately abundant. And I said it last night. I hardly ever do love workings because I'll always do the attraction working first. Well, Spirit said that this needed to be done, so I'm willing to do it for you, Jackie, not for just anybody. Okay, so cardamom pods. You can get ground cardamom, but again, having them in the pod form isn't going to do that mucky dust, because cardamom we have in our cupboard like this. Again, you can certainly use it. The peacocks are outside my window honking. That's so cute. Hi, guys. Did you find Chloe yet? Oh, girl. I need my Chloe back. Okay. So next we've got on the list catnip. I had catnip, but it's powdered so much. I had so many other things that I left catnip out. Chamomile, I do have that here. This is a Roman chamomile. I usually use a German chamomile, but Spirit chose this morning. Chamomile, make sure you only pick the flowers and not the little muckies at the bottom, because there is like a very powdery bit to the bottom of your chamomile. Just choose the flowers there. Okay, next we've got cherry. You could either use cherry bark, you could use dehydrated cherries, you could use the stem of a cherry, the pit of a cherry. Again, the pit of a cherry would be very, very, bring more abundance into this. The seed or the pit. We've got chestnut, chickweed, chili pepper, and here for chili pepper I have two. I have one that came from a really awesome metaphysical shop that I loved, and then I have one that we grew ourselves and then dried in the sun. And when you dry them in the sun, they get quite wrinkly, but it's definitely got this beautiful sun element to it, which I feel brings brightness into this working. And I also asked Jackie a couple personal questions, which I'm not going to share the answers to, but the more information you guys give me, the better. Hi, Brittany Dawn. Basically, like, I asked her, I said, not to make this sound weird, but what kind of partner do you want? You know, so that when I go out and I try and manifest this, because I did this working in the dark moon for her with the oil lamp and with the herbs, and now I'm getting ready to pack it all up. So as much information as she could give me, and she sent me pictures of people that, not people she knew in real life, but pictures of famous people she thought were attractive, pictures of people she thought were not attractive, a list of things she didn't want, a list of things she did want, and I went out there in the dark moon and I spoke out loud to my spirit guides, holding the lamp in my lap with the herbs that I had chosen on the side, and said, you know, this is what we need. Please bring this to us. And the dark moon, I always call it the dark moon, the new moon is a great time to manifest things. So that's why I wanted to do that. So next on the list, we've got cinnamon. And again, cinnamon falls into the protection of category, as well. Mercury retrograde is screwing everything up. The protection category as well. So when you add the things in that have protection, because you always need protection for love working, that way you don't end up with stalkers. That way you don't end up with, I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen negatively. None of that will happen with this, of course, because I've set my intentions. I know what to avoid and what to go closer to. And I would like to do more detailed workings on what could happen negatively in the love working, and maybe why we should try attraction working so many times first. But what I always do with these cinnamon sticks is I take them and I blow into them. And while I'm blowing through it, I add my intention into it and what I was picturing manifesting for Jackie. So as you put this into the oil lamp, just like, you know, Lady Grave Dancer taught me to do, after every single ingredient, hold your hands over, hold your intent over until you've enchanted each one and told them what they need to do for you. Because cinnamon doesn't know. Cinnamon doesn't know if it's helping you with protection or love or one of the many other things that it's good for. Let's see what cinnamon is good for here. So you literally need to talk to it like it's your best friend and say, cinnamon, maybe even give it a kiss if it's a non-poisonous herb. Cinnamon, I really need you to do me these favors. Okay, Steve, so this is an oil lamp burning right here for monies, and I've done a whole video on how to do that. And I set the lights and everything. So I've done a money oil lamp if you want to go check that out. Cinnamon is good for spirituality, success, healing, power, psychic powers, lust, protection, and love. Loads of things that cinnamon is good for. So any of those things that fall under that category, that you want to add to this working. And that's why I say, have this book, go through it as you add each herb, and ask the herb to help you with those things. Because, like I say, cinnamon doesn't know what it's supposed to do. Alright, so next we've got, well, next on the list, after cinnamon comes clove. So clove here. Clover really good for any kind of dental pain before you get to the dentist, if you, of course, want to avoid the painkiller, because those aren't good for us, right? So clove, and honestly, it takes away pain quicker in the mouth for me than the 25 minutes it takes for a painkiller to kick in. Okay, clover, which I've got here. These are all falling under Love and Attraction in Scott Cunningham's book. Just taking one clover bud, because this is really going to suck up oil in the oil lamp, so I just put one in. After clover comes black cohosh. I have that, but I couldn't find it this morning. Colt's foot, columbine, copal. Putting 3 little dots of that copal resin in there. And after copal we have coriander, which is also like cilantro, right? So you can either dry cilantro, you could dry the stems, or you could use actual coriander, but I would avoid the ground powder again because it would make the oil turn into kind of like a mud. We've got crocus, cubeb, cuckoo flower, daffodil, daisy, damania, devil's bit, dill. Now the part of the dill that's most common is going to be this part that we see for seasoning food, right? I grew this dill myself. Well, Alex grew it for us. But I'm also using the top bit where it's gone to seed, because that's going to hold all that fertility and abundance, and also all the many qualities of dill. I've done a half-an-hour video on all the qualities of dill if you want to check that out. I've done a video on avocados, apples, a lot of these things. I've done videos on how to use them magically. Alright, after dill we've got dogbane, dragon's blood. I have dragon's blood, but I'm low on it. Also, it doesn't do super good in the oil lamp because it can be kind of powdery. If you do use it, use a chunk of resin. Dutchman's breeches. What is Dutchman's breeches? That sounds so funny and interesting. Alright. Elkapane, elm, endive, enrigo, fig. This is awesome because we have these figs. We've got, how many varieties of figs does Jugshire Farms have now? I think now like 20 or something. Sometimes they just fall off, and Alex calls them aborted figs. They just fall off, and then we just put them in the dehydrator and they're dry, you know? So cool. So whole fig I'm putting in there. Also, you could use fig leaf. I've got loads of those. You dry them. Those are amazing in tea. I've done a video on my fig leaf tea and all the benefits of fig in witchcraft. Where are we at? So now after fig, we've got fuzzyweed, gardenia, gentian, geranium, ginger, and for the ginger, again, I avoided the powdered because it will make a mud. And I've just got a whole knob here that I dried either for poppet workings or whatever. So yeah, big old knob of dried ginger. It just feels really magical that way as well. It does. How did these get so out of alphabetical order? I don't know. Okay, so then, are we all the way down? So ginseng, grains of paradise, hemp, and I have a piece of organic hemp that I use to do, you know, make jewelry and crafts and stuff with, so I'll put that in there. After hemp comes hibiscus, and I love these organic hibiscus flowers that I found in the whole form, because the other ones are usually just chopped up when you find them in tea and stuff, and these are so beautiful when you put them in the oil because they'll actually open up. Kind of like that blooming tea we were talking about on Tangerine's channel yesterday. That's what those clear teapots are for, as far as I know, is the blooming tea. So you can see the magic happen on the inside. They're so cool. And Tangerine was asking where to get them. Tea shops and Amazon, I suppose. Okay, Hi John the Conqueror, I have some, but I only have a little bit, and it's a powdery substance, so again, didn't want to make more mud. House Leek, Hyacinth, Indian Paintbrush, Jasmine, Joe Pieweed, Juniper, and we've always, always, always got Juniper. The qualities of Juniper, burning it for cleansing an area, are at least 20 times stronger than white sage, so juniper berries, and Spirit had me choose 5 to put in there. Those are fun because they usually float until they become bogged down with oil. Yep. Juniper berries. What's everybody saying? Blooming tea is so beautiful and magical. I agree. Oh, Purple Sky's here. Good morning. We're setting the lights for Jackie. This is just my money lamp that I'm burning right now, but I'm showing everybody how to, when you get your oil lamp in the mail from me and you get all these herbs, how to put it together and what to do. Or how to do it yourself, you know. You can go thrifting and get your own oil lamp. Sure you could. Alright, so next we've got on the list Kava Kava. Kava Kava is something that I don't have right now, but I have it a lot of the time for tea. Don't be afraid to rip open your tea bags and use those herbs for witchcraft. Why not? Yeah, you do waste a tea bag, but if it's a tea that you don't drink all of the time, then in my opinion, it's better to use it than to not use it. So don't be afraid to look in your tea cupboard for things, as long as it's not a blend, you know. What do we have next? So Kava Kava, Lady's Mantle, lavender, and I have a little bit of lavender here. I didn't put a ton in because lavender has quite a strong scent in my opinion, and it can overpower the smell of everything else quite easily. So I just put a little bit of lavender flower in there. Also, it sucks up loads of oil because it's just such a dry flower bud. Okay, lavender, leek, and we're just talking about leeks for soup. That's one of the next ones I want to get in my dehydrator because they come up so much on different lists in this book. Lemon. Now, I didn't have any dried lemon peel. I've just ran out recently. So I have 3 lemon seeds. And anytime you add a seed or a pit, it's really going to add that abundance element to it. Fertility. Why do you want to be fertility and love? So that the love is fertile. So that the money is fertile. So that does that make sense? You can add fertility or seeds to something so that that working is fertile in its magical intention. Whatever you do to add your intent to it, that's what you're going to tell it to do, if that makes sense, right? So add each thing one at a time into the lamp. As you do it, hold your hand over and maybe beside and just put your intention in there. Lady Grave Dancer, I really got that from her as far as each ingredient and holding it and telling it what to do. And once I added that to my practice, things really started working better, I have to say. Because like I say, cinnamon doesn't know if it's trying to help you with what of the 12 things that it does, what's it trying to help you with? Cinnamon doesn't know. So we've got to give our things kisses and tell them what's up. Okay, next we've got, I didn't have lemon, so I had the seeds. Lemon verbena, I have that, but I couldn't find it. Licorice, it's just one of the problems about having, you know, over 250 herbs on your shelf is not being able to find everything. So that's okay, because I have loads. You do not need all of these things. You could use everything on this list, or you could use 3 things on this list. Or you could use 1, but sit with your intention for as long as you can. I agree, Justin. It's a good way to enhance the herbs. And Jamikai's here. Hi, darling. Almost all of my herbs are loose teas that you buy separately in a spice shop. I have a really good idea for that. You can get a muslin bag and put it in your oil lamp. I just thought, okay, so this is licorice root. It's on the list for under licorice. And this is really good medicinally as well if you're trying to do a parasite cleanse. Licorice root. will definitely help with that. But let me get these little, because if you have a bunch of loose herbs, or if you have this only and you don't have the opportunity to make, you know, dried turmeric knobs or dried ginger knobs, and all you have is the powder or loose tea stuff, let me show you what you could do. Okay, so you could put everything into one of these. It's this big. It's as big as your hand. It's a giant muslin, oh, excuse me, a cotton bag. And you can use these for like giant sun teas. You can use them in the bath to have an herbal tea bath. You can use them, why not? Why couldn't you put it right inside of your oil lamp to keep the muddy substances, you know, out of the oil? Because it's still going to resonate inside of the oil and out through the candle. When I heard about setting the lights in witchcraft and hoodoo, I was like, what a better way. The herbs were going to burn into the air. I just fell so in love with it, and I thought it would be so cool just to see all of these things inside of the bottle, inside of the lamp. And I love old-timey ways. So it just makes sense to me to have this oil lamp here, and they're all around me. But I'm trying to share and sell them. Okay, so these bags will certainly help if you have like a lot of loose teas and stuff. Jamakai, that's an idea. Yeah, I was thinking about going through the supermarket herb rack for most of your stuff. Yeah, check bulk bins, you guys. Check your, you know, and okay, expired herbs from your kitchen will work. They just won't be as strong. But you're not going to use them for anything else. You might as well use them for a working, right? In Peggy's kitchen, there was these spice jars that she couldn't let go of because they were my dad's mom's. And, well, I wanted all the jars, but it was like, Mom, I can use those spices for things if you want, you know. Of course, she didn't give them to me, but that's a sentimental thing. That has nothing to do with... Anyway. Okay, cheesecloth bags, yes. And for those of you who are wondering what that looks like, where did I put my cheesecloth? I don't know. After the reorganize. But cheesecloth is a great way to do it. And then you could just tie it up with a string at the top. I like that idea. Thank you for sharing that, Jamakai. Bulk barn is a great place to get supplies. Okay, great. And like I always say, if you can get organic, just pay the extra 30 or 40 or 50 cents because you're not going to have pesticides on your witchcraft ingredients. I know that sounds silly, but it does diminish the quality of the magical ingredient. Okay, so what's next on the list? We got on a little tangent there. Sorry. So we did licorice, and then next is lime. Licorice and lime actually sounds pretty yummy. And this is just a lime that I literally saved from my, you know, kitchen. And it smells heavenly. So next beside the lime, well, what's on the list next? Linden, liverwort, lobelia, lotus, and I have lotus leaves here. Leaves from the lotus. Let me show you how I got lotus leaves and what exactly it looks like. Hi, Lunia. How are ya? Sorry I didn't get your message on Skype last night. You said, are you going to do some in-bed lives tonight? And I said, oh, I was sleeping. Yeah, so bulk bins in the, like, Whole Foods, Central Market, whatever. Try that. and, you know, try to get organic if you can. But let me show you the lotus leaves. They're humongous, and they're just mammoth. If you can see how big I am and see how big the lotus leaves are. So the lotus is, it looks like this. It's this flower here, right? And it's just got all these big petals, but underneath, the leaves, that's what this is the leaf. And there's no jar that I can fit this into, so I just kind of have an opening at the top. I don't want to crush them down. I don't know why. So they're in plastic. It's a bummer. Okay, what's next? Let's see what everybody's talking about. Aren't they huge? Yeah, I didn't know they were that big either. Jamakai is crazy amazing. Are any of you the Magical Touch on Skype? Is any of your Skype names the Magical Touch? Just so I know. It's really hard for me to know who's who when I get onto Skype. Okay, so next on the list of love ingredients, we've got love and attraction. No, love to attract. Okay, so next on the list, we've got lotus, we said that. Lovage, which I don't have any right now, but Alex grows it. Love seed, maidenhair, male fern, mallow, mandrake, and I've got a little piece of that here. Say hello to William. Hi, William. A little bit goes a long way with that, and it's poisonous. Don't touch it without your gloves on, unless you don't mind. But I've told it to you. Maple, now you could either use the leaf, the bark, the syrup if you were so inclined, but I wouldn't in an oil lamp. Marjoram, mastic, meadow rue, meadow sweet, mimosa. Oh, I didn't grab mimosa. Let me grab some mimosa. Albiza mimosa. Well, I don't know if that's actually right. Yeah, mimosa. So, Albiza mimosa. It's funny, it kind of looks like clove, but then it also just looks like there's some weird, like, tufts of hair stuck in there. And it's all kind of sticky together. So this is Albiza mimosa. It's perfect for an angelica root substitute, if you need a substitute for your angelica root. And I'm just going to put a pinch in because it's one of those ones that are really going to suck up the oil. But I didn't see it on the list the first time, and I know how special this stuff is. So we're definitely going to add that Albiza mimosa. Yeah, for sure. For sure. What's YW? You're welcome. Okay. Hi, Heather. Mimosa trees are so fantastical. Heather, I've never seen one, and hi, nice to see you. Sea Witch, or Sea Willow, Herbs and Tarot. Hi. Nice to see you guys. Okay, so if you just showed up, we're here and we're talking about how to set the lights for a Hoodoo oil lamp for love to attract. And so that's what we're doing. Okay, so next on the list, did we say mandrake? Oh, mimosa. So we've got mistletoe, and I just recently got some mistletoe, so let me add that as well. This is mistletoe wood. And this is a powerful one, so a little bit goes a long way. kind of got this beautiful green to it, even when it's dried. So, definitely adding that little bit of mistletoe wood. LM. I have a problem with like it bothers me that these are all in alphabetical order, but some aren't. However, we're live, so I'm not going to let it bother me. Okay, so next after the mandrake and the mistletoe, we have, on the main list, we've got moonwort, which if any of you have moonwort and you want to share it with me, I would love that. Myrtle, nuts, and that's nuts of any kind, but I would not put walnuts in there because walnuts are anti-fertility. And that is their only magical use. So it says nuts, and when you go to nuts in this book, it says that that means all nuts, but I always avoid walnuts when doing the love working. Cool Junebug. I love Junebugs. My cow's name used to be Junebug, and I miss her so bad. Pictures of the mimosa tree. Yeah, Thomas, will you send one to me on Skype so I can see it too? And Thomas, will you send me a picture of moonwort? Moonwort. Thanks, darling. So nuts, it says any nut, but I would avoid walnut. Oleander, and if you want to know about oleander, Lady Grave Dancer has a killer video, and I can't wait to get to Texas because it grows natively there. It's another one that's like kind of similar to mandrake because it's, you know, poisonous, and it seems to have a lot of the same magical qualities. Love oleander. Yeah, totally. So orange. Now, remember back when we were in the B section, it kept saying bleeding heart, bloodroot, things that had to do with blood. Well, it calls for regular orange, but I put in blood orange. Okay? Not only because they're so flippin' gorgeous when they're dried. Look at that, you guys. They just dry into this like bright purpley maroon. But they smell amazing in oils and potpourris and whatnot. Sometimes when you burn these oil lamps, you do get the smell of the herbs inside, so I was hoping that, oh my god, smell. And inside there seems to be a bit of a star, so I like that. So, blood orange, because we are calling, you know, Raven, hi, welcome. Hi, Joyce. We are calling blood to the situation because we're asking for a new love to come into her life. So adding the blood orange really kind of makes it more personal to the working. And when I held this very piece in the moonlight, I was talking about that very thing. And I was saying, blood orange, here's what you need to do for us, da-da-da-da-da. Okay? So take your time with these things. Kiss your things. Tell them how important it is for them to help you and how much you appreciate it. Because I know that that sounds silly, but when it comes to what we're doing here, it does resonate and make a lot of sense. New love. Okay, yes, hug each other's channels, ring each other's bells, please. Oh, Alex hit 101 subscribers last night. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my husband's channel. I just want to say that we were like, yay! So excited for him. So he's going to do more lives and show you guys how to grow more things like we have here and taking video requests and all of that. But he's really excited to go live and do more Q&A with you guys. Okay, now next I have one to show you that does not come up in Scott Cunningham's book, but it's one I work with a lot. And it's the passion fruit. And this is a dried passion fruit skin. In the inside, and it's going to be hard to see with my camera, but it looks like brain tissue. Okay? So when I held this, I was asking for passion to come into Jackie and this future person's brain and heart. Yes, congratulations, Alex. Woohoo, Alex! It was awesome. So if you guys have not subscribed to his yes yet, Purple Sky, can you type in Juckshy Farms into the comments? Thank you so much. So yeah, passion fruit. It does not show up in our little book here, but it is an excellent one that we hear it come up a lot in witchcraft and hoodoo. So next on the list, we've got So oleander, orange, orchid, pansy, papaya. Okay, there's no, how are you going to get a papaya in an oil lamp? Well, you're not. But we're also not going to be able to fit all these things inside the oil lamp either. So I've taken a little dried papaya shell, which I can't tip because I got things in it. And the color is beautiful on the other side. The greens, the yellows, all of it came through and the inside. So on the side of her oil lamp, I will have a loose potpourri dish with a little bit of all of these herbs inside that she can actually touch the herbs to bond with what's inside of the lamp, okay? So there's a couple reasons for this. Every time I do up one of these, I end up with way too much to fit into the oil lamp because you have to have oil in there too, otherwise it's a fire hazard. If the oil runs out, what will happen, right? Bad things. She can put as many of these in here as she wants, or she can add more to it as time goes on, you know. So I'm just really excited to have this dried papaya cup and make use of it because I have a few of them, and it took me a while to figure out what the heck are you going to do with that, but it works, right? So just a loose potpourri for the side in this dried papaya shell. Awesome. Okay, so papaya and pea, and I've chosen a purple pea that I've dried from our garden last year. A purple sweet pea. Purple is the color of alchemy. Purple is the color that I relate to manifestation. Purple is a color of royalty. If you look up the history of purple, only royals were allowed to wear it for a super long time. And the real color of purple dye was so expensive that, you know, the royals could probably barely afford it. It came from this like sea snail, I think. And the dye came from their shell, I do believe. So anyway, the color purple has a big long history. Yay, Thomas, thank you. He sent me a bunch of stuff. You can feel the love through the computer screen. Well, I'm glad because it's absolutely genuine. And it could be all these love herbs vibrating up, you know, which is all really good stuff. Thanks for saying that, Heather. It makes my day when people say things like that. Because I know that the things in my Etsy shop are not cheap, but I spend a ton of time with them. And, yeah, I don't know. I know that you guys understand that, but sometimes it's hard. Jen, the photos of Moonward, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Thomas. I was just telling people while you were gone. I see he sent them to me. Okay, so Thomas, did you see the papaya shell? And this is going to be for all the extras that don't fit into it and have a loose potpourri on the side that she can touch when she's setting her lights, you know, daily or however often she does it, and connect with the herbs that are inside the jar that she can no longer touch. So, all right, next. And where did I get that idea? Nowhere, just from my heart, from my spirit guides. You know, I read a lot in books, but I don't read a lot on spells. I try and do that, like, out of just pure guidance from spirit and my intuition, you know. It was only Thomas said, it was only the early Victorian periods that they realized that they could mix red dye. Yes! And so, before that, and it was actually, and that's why purple doesn't show up on any flags either. Now, if there's newer countries that have been developed newer, they may have purple on the flag, but I think there's only 2 or 3 of them. You know, that's interesting bits of trivia, but purple, the color purple has a long, very, very interesting history, and if you guys are into the natural dyes and such, then look into it. And we're not talking about indigo, because that's different, but purple. Okay, so, oh, and purple is the color, or indigo is the color of our third eye, so remember, that's also a connection, color that connects us to spirit. I love these pea rattles! I just love them! This is like 9 months old now, from our garden last spring. Okay, so going down the list, peach, you could either use some dried fruit or the pit. Yeah, purple in a flag, right, look it up, it's just, if there is purple in a flag, it's either a new edition, you know, like an update, and I do believe that there's really only like 3 flags in the world that have purple. Okay, so then we've got pear, and you could use the seeds to the pear, or you could cut them up and put them in the dehydrator like this. Peppermint, again, you can take from tea if you want. I do have peppermint. No, I have spearmint. Periwinkle, pimento, plum. Plum, you could do the fruit or the pit or the leaves or the tree bark, whatever you can get for it or from it. And then we've got poppy, which I put inside of the shell, and because I'm using poppy seeds, they're so tiny, they would just fall through the monk cloth. So those are in the shell there, and I'll put some in the lamp for sure. And then here I've got raspberry leaf, because raspberry shows up on the list, and I had raspberry leaf tea from pregnancy before that I'm not going to be using. So I added it to my witchcraft cupboard. Quince, quisala, purslane, primrose, prickly ash. Rue. Rue is one I have to get in my cupboard. It's a major hoodoo herb. It comes up so much in Scotty's stuff, and I just am really drawn to it. So if anybody has rue and wants to donate it to the channel, those donations are so welcome. But yeah, it's on the list of things that I'll be adding as soon as I get the chance. Alright, what comes after rue? Rye. So rye, you can either do rye grass or you can do rye berries like this. Wheat berries, rye berries, it's all referring to these whole grains. They're not actual berries. Sea willow, herbs, and taro. I love how you put everything in ABC order. Normally I don't do that, but I do when I'm reading out of these because I collect them in order, and then, I don't know. It's actually probably like OCD, but, you know, I don't medicate for that, so I just have to, like, deal with it. Okay, saffron, which I only have tiny amount of at this moment, so I didn't put it in there because I've got so much other stuff. Lunaya says, Gen Rue is easy to get at a Hispanic store. Really? Because I've never seen it there. Does it have a different name, or is it still called Rue? Because that's where I get a lot of my stuff, is Hispanic stores. So then we have sarsaparilla, skullcap, sienna, snakeroot black, southernwood, spearmint, which I have here, which I got from bulk bins, but you could totally take it from tea. Spearmint, peppermint, you know, you could grow mint. It's so easy. Mint, if you grow it, it's like it reroots and it gets into everything. So it's actually considered a weed to a lot of gardens. If you do mint or squash, put them all by themselves, because they reroot and they just mess up all the other stuff. Heather, you grow rue in your garden, so at the end of the season, that would be so amazing. That would be so much more special than rue from a shop, you know, and I just love sharing things that we grew together. If any of you have gardens, you know, it's like an age-old tradition to, like, share your gardens with your neighbors. That stems back from witchcraft, you know, from kitchen magic, from putting love into food. And an old wives' thing is they used to share with their neighbors that way, but they would put, like, avoidance of the evil eye into the food, so they would actually enchant it so that the neighbors wouldn't get jealous of them or, you know, give them the evil eye in any way. And that's definitely something that, you know, you can do. It's not cruel, it's just defense for yourself, protection. What's everybody saying? It's such a beautiful herb, I bet. Heather Foley, if you haven't connected with me on Skype yet, find me on Skype at Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I'd love to see pictures of it. Oh, I would just love that. Okay, so next we've got spiderwort, strawberry, and remember the other day I was eating strawberries with you guys. I take the tops of the strawberries and I pop them into the dehydrator. You could also dehydrate the fruit, but I like to eat them fresh. So I have 3 strawberry tops that are going to go in there. And I've got sugarcane. Remember I did the dismembering a sugarcane video, you guys? Watch that one because sugarcane is really hard to take apart and it's very splintery and it can cut you, and you have to have a saw to do it. So it was a really fun video. And then Alex took part of that sugarcane and he's made a plant that's now taller than we are. So yeah, check out it's called Dismembering Sugarcane for Witchcraft Workings or something, but if you search Taxidermy Witch and sugarcane, it'll come right up. So sugarcane's in there. It's excellent for love. It's excellent for love poppets. Let me show you my sugarcane the way that I keep it dried. Great for poppets because see how long it is? You can make the bones of your poppet out of this, and then the bones would be for love or whatever magical intention that sugarcane pops up. Let's read about sugarcane super quick, but I really suggest you guys check out that video. So love and lust are the two powers. So not many, but yeah, there you are. Really cool. Really cool stuff. Jez, how are you, darling? Jen is the taxidermy witch. I am, Lunea, that is true. If you grow mint, grow it contained in a pot or something. Right, because it will take root and take over the garden. Yeah, it's same with squash. Grow squashes and gourds on their own corner of the garden, like on a hill way over there. Because they'll come down and they'll just... What's Heather need help with? Your appointment has taken over. Apple mint. Oh, wow. Yeah. And Alex can help you too. So there's loads of people here who can help you. Just don't be afraid to ask. And Heather, I know that you're not afraid to ask, so that's good. Okay, so next we've got on the list. Well, let's just say, because sugarcane doesn't have a ton to say about it, I'll just read it to you. The gender is feminine. The folk name is Ko, and it comes from, like, Hawaiian. Planet Venus, element water, powers love and lust. The magical uses. Sugar has long been used in love and lust potions. Chew on a piece of the cane while thinking of your loved one. So that's the awesome part. The inside of the sugar cane that you actually eat. I chew that up, and then and this sounds weird, I chew it up, I suck out all the juice, and while that's happening, then I spit out what I've chewed up, and I let it dry in the dehydrator. It turns into this stuffing for puppets. Now, if you are supposed to, as a witch, chew it and think of love, what a better thing to stuff your love puppet with. Make the bones out of this. You know, like, what do I mean bones? I just mean like a stick figure. Make it out of that. Then take all your chewings from the sugarcane, and again, watch the video so you can see how to cut up the sugarcane and get the chewing bits. It turns into this, like, cotton stuffing. Plus, it's got your DNA on it, so if you're going to make a puppet for yourself, for self-love, or for somebody else that you love, and this is a positive puppet, right? What better way to connect with it? What better way to make it a part of you? You can add hair, you can add anything, really. Tears, blood. Hello! Yes, hello everybody. Mint and ice water is so good. I love that too. Yes, our Badger Thomas is here. And before I forget, I have to put yarrow in this mix because it was the last one I forgot to put in there. Yarrow. Yarrow, where are you? There you go. Yarrow, yarrow, I love you. Oh, yarrow, you're only a jar away. Oh, yarrow, I love you. Oh, yarrow, you're only a jar away. Okay, so yarrow is also great for love. So let's get it on here. But it's another one that probably I'll have more of it in this side and less of it in the lamp because it's one of those that really suck up the oil. And these are gorgeous. Look at all that organic yarrow. I try and tidy up as I go so I don't have a big mess. No. Sorry. I wish I did, darling. Okay. One more. There we go. Tidying up is really important to me to keep my space organized, so thank you for giving me that space while I need to take care of things. Oh! Yay! Bracket 1! How are you, hun? Nice to see you here. Okay. Joe's had to go. Bye, darling. Nice to see you. Okay, another thing that I have in here, and let's get back to the list so we can get through it. And then we can chit-chat for a little bit and answer questions. Okay, so we left off at poppy, raspberry, rose. So rose. I have a rose from a time that Alex brought me roses. This isn't from my wedding, but it's from one of the first times that he brought me roses. So, and I have like 24 of them. So I'm giving a whole entire bud to Jackie to hopefully find her love that was so special like mine. And so I've got that there. And then rosemary is another one that's on this list. Where are we at? Yep, rosemary, rue, we talked about rue, rye, saffron, sarsaparilla, skullcap, sienna, snakeroot, spearmint, spiderwort, strawberry, sugarcane, sumbul, tamarind. I have tamarind seeds. They're great. They're great for jewelry. They're great for, and we showed tamarind the other day that it looked like nature's Tootsie Roll or Mr. Hanky. That's what we said. Awful, I know. Okay, so that could be used as well. Thyme, tomato, like sun-dried tomato. I couldn't find mine, otherwise I was going to put one in. Tonka, terminatil, Tyrillium, tulip, valerian, and we've got valerian here. Valerian smells terrible. So all of this valerian root will go inside of the lamp, but valerian is really good for sleep. It's really good for, I think shadow work. I find it good for shadow work. I feel that it's good for anxieties and just like anti-depression, that kind of stuff. Anti-negativity. You can also use vanilla, Venus flytrap, vervain, vetiver, violet, willow, witchgrass, wormwood, yarrow, yerba mate, and yohimbe. I forgot, I do have willow. Let me grab some willow and then we'll have a chit chat. Just a little sprig of willow, a very, very thin one. And basically, I'm going to get all of these things packed up, and I'm going to let Jackie put them in one thing at a time. So they'll all be in separate bags, separate things packed up so that she can put each thing in individually and enchant, you know. And I do believe that Jackie's got this book because I told her, this is her second oil lamp that she's ordered from me. And I told her when she got her first oil lamp, get this book for the enchanting process and, you know, everything else. This is just going to be one of those things that you're never going to be sad you bought, ever. So that's what is going on, and I feel like now we can back up and chit-chat a bit. I didn't do my hair, as you can see, so let me try and pin it now. Okay, let's see what everybody is talking about. You use vervain so much and you love that stuff. So tell me what you use vervain for, because I would love to hear that. And is there someone here named Junebug, or is that another name for something? Lunaya, is it? So again, don't forget, you guys, if you want to color your oil lamp so that the lamp fluid is a different color, and you don't have to add food coloring, because everything I'm adding in here is so natural, except for the lamp oil probably. But I like to keep like that nature resonating through, so I'm going to use the beetroot powder. And you can use that in food too, this beetroot powder. All it tastes is a little bit sweet, you guys, but a little bit of this goes a long way. You can color oils with it, you can color fabric with it, you can make magical ink with it. But I would make magical ink with actually juiced beets rather than the beetroot powder, but you can still do it. Oh, Sea Willow Herbs, your nickname is Junebug? That's awesome. Oh, and your name is Jennifer, and there's so many Jennifers. That's perfect. That's so cool. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you guys. There's one thing I didn't show you. I got all these dice from Magical Mandy. Like, oh, she didn't put them in the vial, but she sent me this bag of dice. And there's 100 in here. So I'm putting these into the lamp for luck, obviously, so that she has good luck. Now, one thing I want to tell you that I avoided putting in the lamp, but if it was any other intention besides love, I would have put them in, is espresso beans or coffee. Now, if you add espresso beans or coffee to a working, it will speed up any working. If you add espresso beans, it's really going to speed up any working. So I did not add that to the love working because I don't want this to be a hasty thing for her. Like, she is tired of finding the wrong one. So why would we want to speed this up? You know, this will be the final one. This will be the right one. So that's what we're really trying to manifest here. And I also wanted to do a little note that the reason why I put 3 strawberry stems in is because I've read in so many books, even spiritual ones, that we have 3 greats in our life. Like 3 big, big, big loves. We have 2, and then we have the one that we finally kind of sit with. And I can say that's true in my life for sure. I think Alex can say that's true for him in his life. And a lot of people, if they think about it, like really hard, because if you've had, you know, relationships, you just have to think about each individual one. But a lot of the times we do end up with these 3 greats. Yeah, the dice are super cute, right? I just thought it'd be fun to put in there. And one of those things that are just like bones, you know. It's not a bone, but I was even thinking about putting a mink bone in, but I hadn't asked her yet, and I don't know if she's so keen on the taxidermy element. Joy says, Cunningham was so wise in the craft. He's my father of witchcraft. That's what I'm saying. I'm so glad all of his work is published, or we'd have a huge hole in our practices. Yeah, that almost made me cry. If his stuff wasn't published, if this book didn't exist, I don't know if I'd be sitting here in front of you guys today. Because it's literally all I need in my heart to write spells. And as soon as I found page 276, I was like, boom, I can do this. It's simple now. So, yeah, that's just, I have this little altar for Scott Cunningham. I did a video talking about his life and his death and his, you know, accomplishments and stuff. And he collaborated with one other person and wrote Magical Household, David Harrington, and that was one of their last books. Man, I wish I could have collaborated with Scott Cunningham and wrote a book. That would have been, like, probably one of my most favorite things. Lilac said, I believe I manifested my current partner. That's awesome. My copy is coming from Thrift Books, Jen. Yay! I have a lot of people that are just sending the books straight to my house, and so that I can sign them and write something in them for them and take them out in the moonlight and then send them back. So I've done that 3 times, which is really fun. So yeah, if anybody wants to send me any books that I can, not that I say like, it's just so that I my energy is attached to your book. You know, me and Scotty can be a little bit more attached to your book. It's not like I'm famous and I'm signing books now. It's not like that. It's like a personal message to you from me. Yeah, totally. Yes. Yeah. And honestly, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when we get moved to Texas and I get more money, I'm going to try to buy like 5 copies and just have 5 copies in the Etsy shop at all times. But again, you know, they're going to be probably full price because I'm not going to be able to find them cheap. If I can go in thrift books and buy them out, I could do it. But you guys could do that too. So thrift books is the best. I paid full price for mine, and full price is in the U.S. is $17.99 plus tax, and in Canada $20.95 plus tax. I actually bought mine in a little shop for $21, so they had marked it up. But had I gone to Barnes & Noble, but I'm never sad about that, because when I went into that shop that day, that lady told me about this book and was telling me all about why, and people have to make money. You can't buy something for the shelf price and expect to make money, so. Yeah, oh, thanks you guys, I love you. So does that make sense about when you use something in here, not using powders if you can avoid it, and if you do use a powder, really try to maybe keep it contained. I hope that makes sense. It's just going to mud up the oil, and then the oil might not pull through the wick appropriately. And the last thing we want to do is make any of this a fire hazard. Also, you guys, make sure that you're not burning kerosene, even the kerosene that doesn't have a smell. RVing, keep it rolling. Hi, how are you? Thanks for stopping by and sharing some support. I really, really adore it. On the channel today, we are setting lights for an oil lamp and putting loads of herbs and things inside. This is my money oil lamp, which I've done a video on. But I am getting ready to do a love and attraction working for a friend. So that's what we're doing here. Joyce says, he spoke at a class I was in once here in Oklahoma. Cunningham just absolutely rocked. You met Scott Cunningham, or you saw him in real time? That's so amazing. Hey, hon.
I'm just going to go outside in a little bit and do a quick live stream with my outdoor plants.
Well, can you wait a little while? We're closing up here.
Yeah, I'm going to do it on top of
So
yours.
right after this, Alex is going to go on live. And what are we doing on your live stream?
I'm going to just show some of my outside plants.
Alex is going to show you outside plants, and then I will be on the stream as well. I'll pop in and say hi to you guys on the video, but I will be moderating in the chat because Alex doesn't always get a chance to read the chat and say what he's saying. So I'll help you guys moderate. If you have questions for him, I'll make sure that he hears them and reads them. So we'll look forward to that. When do you say, babe? 20 minutes or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like 20 minutes, we'll pop over to his. And that is Juckshy Farms. Jukshyfarms. Juckshy Farms. He hit 100 yesterday. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You use vervain and protection for psychic working since it helps protect psychic attacks. What a good idea. And anxiety working. Sorry, I was... Oh, no, that's okay. Changing nappies comes first. That's definitely a priority. Yeah, see, RVing, keep it rolling. There's loads of people here. Thomas is here, and everybody's here. Oh, them diapers. Yeah, I cannot believe that you got to be in the same room with Scott Cunningham. I bet that energy was just so beautiful and so calm and so epic, you know? I can't even really imagine it. Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's amazing. Okay, no E in Juckshy Farms, but yes, Juckshy Farms, and it's 2 words. Sorry I can't type it, you guys. So yeah, Juckshy, first word, Farms, second word. So I'm going to... does anybody have any more questions about this working? Or love and attraction, and you know why I do an attraction before love, and did we make that clear? I think that we did. So like I say, Alex wants to go live, and I'm not going to stop him from that. I'm going to be going live later on today, at least once more, because as I'm packing up orders, I want to show you guys what you get when you get an Etsy order from me. It's never something small and simple. It's always very, very intricate. And then, you pay a certain amount, and then I just keep adding more. So I think people definitely get what they want, plus way, way more. So that's the... Oh, no, Purple Sky. I don't care. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it didn't have an E. Thank you for retyping it. So you guys, loads of things here. Remember that this book gave me all the confidence that I have to write my own workings, and that confidence doesn't even start until the very end of the book, page 276, where the magical intentions start. And real quickly, I'm just going to tell you all the magical intentions categories that are in this book, okay? We've got to aid astral projection, so to help you with astral projection, to attain beauty, to maintain chastity, to attain courage, raising the dead, divination, to attain and maintain employment, exorcism, fertility to increase, fidelity, friendships to promote, to halt gossip, to promote happiness, to promote healing, to maintain health, to break hexes, to aid in hunting, plants to use for image magic, to attain immortality, to increase infertility, walnut. There's only one thing under there, walnut. That's why I say avoid walnuts in this working. Because you may draw a partner to you that's infertile. And I'm just being honest. And that would be sad. However, if that's what you wish, then do add walnuts. Okay, to attain invisibility. I have loads that I use outside of this list, so I think that I will be doing a video in the future about invisibility herbs, Scott's and mine. So to assist in legal matters, to open locks, to attain longevity, to attract love, and I read you the whole list in this video. Divinations of love, to break love spells, to obtain luck, to increase or create lust, to decrease lust, to aid manifestations, to aid meditation, to strengthen mental power, to obtain money, riches, treasure, and wealth, to instill peace and harmony, to obtain power, to cause prophetic dreams, to obtain prosperity, to gain protection, to strengthen psychic powers, purification, which is going to be your cleansing. There's nothing under here that says cleansing. Purification, that's your word in this book. To cause rain to fall, to regain or maintain sexual potency, sleep, to call snakes, to enrage snakes, and I do these snake calling kits that are awesome on my Etsy page. Really, really cool stuff, where you actually get snake sheds, and I make you a wand, and lots of other stuff. We showed those chirimoya fruits that look like scaly like snakes. Yeah. To call spirits, to repel snakes, to strengthen spirituality, to instill strength, to attain success, to prevent theft, to induce visions, to raise wind, to promote wisdom, to manifest wishes, and to maintain and regain youth. So in this book, in those 10 pages, pure confidence for me, and really gives you just about anything you need. Then, when you get in within, you figure out the herbs you want to use, and you're like, bean, why is that good for love and exorcism? You can read all about it. And within the readings, there are little ideas for workings, like, for instance, magical uses. In general, beans were used in classical times and are still as a charm against evil sorcerers. So if you have another witch that is trying to do workings on you and you know it or you feel it, there you go, beans. But that wouldn't make sense for any herb that fell under those categories. These are individual qualities to these herbs. So it says, put a bean in your mouth and spit it out at the person. Dried beans are carried as an amulet against negativity and evil magic. There's just so much stuff in here that gives you so many ideas. So many little tiny ideas that you can take as like a seed and grow your own idea from it. This book is the seed for you to come up with all these things from your beautiful magical imagination. So this is my witchcraft Bible. This is the one thing that I absolutely would not want to live without. And if I had to pay $1,000 to have it, I would start making payments today. I don't know how to explain it, but I really do feel like if I, could only have one book, that would be it. Alright, you guys, thank you for joining me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. I'm so glad that you were able to all pop in because I know beans, the magical things. That's funny. And you know what? They are a fruit. Beans are a fruit. It is true. Hi, darling. Nice to see you. So everybody come over to Alex's channel. He's got his coat on. I just need to get my
It'll be like 5 minutes.
Coat on, and we'll see you in about 5 minutes at Juckshire Farms. We're going to go through the outside and just take you through all our plants. If you have any questions on gardening, on witchcraft gardening, any of it will be here. You need to buy a bunch of beans to go in a bag? Yeah, like a mojo bag. There you go. Heather, is it wrong that you just want to spit beans at people? No. Like at the grocery store? No. But, I mean, always have justification for what you're doing. But I kind of want to spit beans at people at the grocery store now, too. But only if it had, like, a better thing to it. Like, it's hilarious, but, like, if it was doing good, I actually would do it. I'd be like, bing! People can get really good at spitting to where you don't even have to aim your mouth. You can just go, bing! Like those spittoons and stuff. I want a spittoon. I think it would be a really great magical witchcraft ingredient. Because think, all that DNA in there, and it's so gross, but it would be really awesome. No, Heather, but always remember me well enough. If somebody wants to make a video of them spitting beans, I would adore it. I would adore it. And actually, Living Out Loud is not here right now. His channel's name is Juckshire Farms. Jukshy, second word, Farms. If Living Out Loud hears this, I want you to make a bean spitting video, or any of you guys that have channels. Let's all make, thanks Heather, I really appreciate it. Thanks you guys for having fun with me and helping put more intention into this working for Jackie because she needs the help. So, love all you guys and we'll see you soon. Bye! See you at Juckshire Farms! And I'll see you later today on